Uh, in Africa, they valued our clothes because they were always swapping something for our clothes. The biggest thing they liked was a mattress cover, which was about 6 foot long and had about 2 foot wide. And what they did was slit on the top so you could put a head through it, and then on the side he slit for his arm to stick out. And that was it was like a nightgown. And for that you could get about 3 to 4 dozen eggs. So when those were gone, they looked for shoes, they looked for our socks, they looked for anything we had to swap. But we didn't have much surplus to give them. Once you sold that mattress cover, you didn't get much for anything else. There was no meat to get. There's no vegetables outside of. We'd go to these flea markets where everybody was there buying stuff, and the dates were in cowhides. The cow was like 5 foot round, and it was stuffed with dates, and that's the stuff we ate. I couldn't believe it. So I said, I still have to eat something, and that's what it amounted to. We did eat a lot of dates and a lot of hardtack. That kept us alive. And the water, we'd go to someplace to get some from a spring, usually, water, and fill a canvas bag, which was about 5 feet around, and it had spigots at the end, and it was full of chlorine. Oh, talk about terror. I think it was Atterburn, and it turned you yellow, pretty hard on you. But you had to drink something, and that's what you drank. A lot of that, and cooked with it. We did everything, washed with it, did anything we had to. It was kind of rough. And the thing in the pup tent, don't raise your arms, because if you raise your arm, all you do is stink. And so you had to keep your arms down when you slept. And there was always 2 guys to a pup tent, and kept that pretty neat. You kept your equipment in there. There wasn't room for hardly anything in there. And we managed. That's all I could say. And we did to the yellow nose 109s, no, 190s. They got a few of our pilots because they were well experienced in fighting, and we were greenhorns, so we lost quite a few pilots there. And from the desert we moved back across the Atlas Mountains, off the desert, and this was an old German airfield. It was Chateau du Ramal. And we were spread out, mile or 2 apart, because the 71st and 94th and the 27th were all together. And one day somebody says, "Hey, there's a pilot over there he's from Joliet." I said, "What's his name?" They didn't know. So I went up and talked to him, found who he was, and he was a captain. Supposed to be one of our best pilots. He was in the 94th. That's why I never got acquainted with him. And a couple days later, I heard he was shot down and killed. He had taken a mission, strafing mission, at Kasserine Pass. At the time, Kasserine was pretty bad for the Americans. The Germans were coming our way instead of us pushing them back. They were pushing us back. The only place they had to go was Kasserine Pass to get through there. So that's why they did a lot of strafing in there. And we lost the captain there. So I never got to talk to him. He said he would talk to me in a few days, and we never got together. I talked to his family about it and all that. And there was rumors that it was friendly fire, but nobody really knows. All I think, "I'm hit, I'm going down." That's the last words he had. So that's all he ever knew. And we were right along the road to Kasserine Pass. We camped there, and our airfield was right there too. And one day, and we're right next to a cemetery, and it was interesting. These people get buried, and they had ceremonies and everything there, and they carried them right over to there and buried them right there. They didn't go to the ground very much. They put rocks and stuff on top of them and stuff like that, and threw a little dirt on them. So it's quite interesting. And this one day, there's an airplane coming. I didn't recognize it. And it coming right for us. And he was following the road, and we were right alongside the road, so I don't know. I thought he was coming for us. I didn't see any flames or anything on him, so I know he wasn't strafing. Well, anyhow, he was coming so fast that I didn't have time to move or anything. I just stood there and froze. And find out it was a Hurricane, British airplane. So I was pretty lucky on that. He was just patrolling, that's all. So, and on this airfield, the Germans were supplying their troops in North Africa from Sicily, and they were in troop airplanes. So our pilots got a chance to get in one of them. One day they run into them, and they shot down, I think, around 20 of them, and they're full of troops, so did some good. And about 3 of them became aces, and then they had another day, and then 3 days of that. So I guess the Germans quit after that. So, and it was nice to see some aces, because before that we hadn't had any aces. We had some, we were at the Yellow-Nose, and the Yellow-Nose were a good airplane, and they were old pilots that knew what they were doing. So, and we were greenhorns. So we got our break that way. And after that, at night, what happened is we would surround the campground with Foreign Legion, and they would surround us, and anybody would come in that camp, where we were, they would sure shoot them up or whatever they had to do with them. They would get them. They were all on horses. About 50 horses would surround them. And if they caught anybody, the next day at noon, they'd shoot them right there in town. So I never went to any of those, but I heard what happened. And they were vicious. They didn't fool around at all, these French Foreign Legion guys. One time we had an incident on the train. The guy was trying to sell him some oranges or something, didn't do something. He hit that guy and took the stuff and went on. That was it. He nailed the guy, so, and took it away from him, didn't pay him or anything. I saw that and I didn't like it. So, yeah, but that's the way, that's war. It's bad for everybody. And things started getting a little better. We were there for a while. It was a nice airfield, and it was well protected. We did well escorting and fighting, so it was all nice for us. And we did a little bombing, not much. You'd have one belly tank and one bomb or 2 bomb, and then bomb bridges and stuff like that. Or the troops, we'd strafe for them. But we were worried about that Kasserine Pass breaking loose. If they would have nailed us pretty easily, because we were on the road. And that worried us somewhat. So from there on, we were departing that area, and our old pilots were retiring. They had their 50 missions, and it was some of these pilots were with us from the beginning, and it was really nice, we got to know them. And Marvin Morrison. He was my pilot there, and he's quite a guy. And everybody had boots on when they went up, 20, 30,000 feet, and he wouldn't wear anything but shoes. And I said, "What? You're going to freeze your feet?" He said, "I'd rather freeze my feet than not shoot that guy down. He's going to shoot me down." So he said that in my head it was more sensitive. And he was Captain Owens's guy that flew right alongside him, escorted him. So he had 2 probables, I think. So that was the part in Chateau done. From there,